sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Watch me hit him with this 1-2 knockout KO. Yo, what is up, everybody?
Yes. Welcome to Friday, everybody. Ain't you glad to be here? Man, I'm so glad to be at Friday already.
I know. We know you guys have been grinding all week. You're about to start the weekend off. And what better way to start it with a little bit of FiveStar Friday?
Absolutely, man. This is the way to do it here. This is the way to kick it off right here.
So, we aren't going to waste too much time. We've uploaded a bunch of news and had a bunch of stuff on the page all week of toy news, comic news, movie news, and all that stuff. So you guys can go back on the page, check that out. We are 5 members away from having 500 members in the group. So we're excited about that. If you know people that would gain from being part of the group and gain from getting the news hot, quick, and in a second, add them to the group. We have very, very, very special guests today. Not only are these guys grinding hard, making moves, doing their thing, they are very close friends of mine. We grew up together, so I'm excited to just see their grind. I'm excited to see where they're going and what they're doing. We have both members of higher faculty coming in, and I'm going to play just this little intro video for y'all just to get y'all hyped, get y'all ready. Here we go. Here's a quick intro video, bringing them in after that. Yo, what is up?
What's up, fam?
How y'all doing?
Going on?
How you feeling, man?
What's going on, Mr. FiveStar, Mr. Fish?
Yes, we are in the building. Go ahead and tell them who you are, guys. Tell them a little bit about y'all.
I am Alfredo Peters, higher faculty.
LC, you heard. Real name is Larry Carter, for those who know on Facebook or who are from Middletown, Ohio, but on the internet world, it's LC, you heard.
And I'm Action Fredo on the internet. Action Fredo.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I know you guys have a third member of the band. I'm not sure if he's coming in or not, but
he's right over here. Yeah, come on over here and introduce yourself.
Yeah, come on over and introduce yourself, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's setting up. We're actually doing a DJ mix tonight at 7. We do 3 or 4 mixes a week.
Yeah.
Live on Twitch.
Yo, what's up,
What is happening?
What's up, Tony Clapp? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man.
Mr. FiveStar.
I'm doing
Mr.
good.
Mr. Fish, how y'all doing, man?
All right.
Doing good, man. Living the dream.
Oh, yeah. Same here, man.
I love seeing y'all's grind. I love seeing the everyday work y'all are doing. It's inspiring for one, but it's just always nice to see people that you've known and watch them just elevate, and that's what it's all about. So tell us how the idea of higher faculty came to light. How did that happen? How did that go down?
Well, I've been shooting videos for years, and I studied film in college for people who don't know, and I was always kind of shooting videos on the side, and me and LC were shooting music videos on the side. He had a job too, and the pandemic hit, and I just got to thinking, LC said it best in his song lyrics, like, I'm gonna make this music now, or because I could die tonight. And I just felt the same way about videos, and I was like, I could sit here and work this regular job and do videos on the side for the rest of my life, or I can just take a leap and start something.
Amen.
And that's what happened. I reached out to LC and said, you know what, like, I got the vision for this thing. I was listening to personal development for like 30 days straight, while I was working a job, and I was just on fire, and I was like, you know what, I'm ready to step out and start something, man. So the original vision for higher faculty was to move into a space where we had a studio, a place where we could record music, and a place where we could record video. So it was like a big time dream of TV station on this side, music studio on the other side. And that didn't happen at all. It did not happen at all. So, like, my vision was to get people in the studio creating content, and I'm just shooting it and facilitating. And, we've got people recording music on the other side. Originally there were 4 of us, and then it got chopped down to 2 very fast. And it was just me and him. And we had a studio with a lot of overhead and no real plan that was working. And, we were like, a podcast would be a great way to get us out there, connect with other people just like this. And
does get off the internet if she is.
we started, recording podcasts in here, and we bought this switcher, which is right here. We can switch angles and, do stuff like this. And we were like, you know what? Our goal is to, put out 52 YouTube videos this year and somehow get 10,000 subscribers. So, one day LC sat down to do a reaction video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. You can kind of add to it if you want, bro. I don't want to do all the talking.
Oh, that's cool, man. We honestly, man, we were scrambling. We want people to know that, like, we're not here to make some kind of sob story, like, of any type of struggle or anything. But I mean, we started this thing in the midst of the pandemic with a plan that didn't work, but we never stopped working whatever the plan was. Like, it kept changing, but we kept trying and we gave it our all. And that's just what I want to encourage people to do. Like, it may not look the way that you think it's going to look, but just keep grinding. And that day that I sat down to do the reaction, it was just a day where, Fredo was overwhelmed with editing. I was overwhelmed and frustrated because I didn't know what we were going to do next. Like, we had run out of ideas. So I'm like, I want to learn how to use this equipment. What better way than to just do a reaction video? And I did the first reaction myself, and it was absolutely terrible. Like, it's hilarious. We have it docked as like bonus footage because my computer wasn't able to keep up with the software, so my mouth wasn't matching the words. I wasn't able to. The music that I picked, everything was just off, and it was just like, out of desperation, Fredo was looking at me like, "Man, let me just help you. Like, if this is something that you want to do, like, let me just help you because I'm the tech guy. I'm gonna step in and help you out." And it just happened to be this specific song that he picked, which was a K-pop song. And I was very reluctant to, like, I heard the word pop and I'm like, I'm a rap guy. Like, I don't want to listen to pop music, especially if I don't know the words, but I'll do it if you want to do it. And we were blown away by the music. So for those who aren't familiar with K-pop, like, it's not necessarily pop music. It's just like, traditionally it's like Korean music, and there's a lot of different genres built into the music. So we loved it, and we put the video out. We were, even after we recorded it, we're like, should we put this on our YouTube? Like, it's just kind of random. But we came in and we went from 22 subscribers to 200 subscribers overnight. And I was like, what in the heck just happened? So like I told you guys before we started, it's just like, if you're playing the Madden, you got to play that no one can stop, and you're trying to win, you're just going to keep running that play. So we were like, we don't know what just happened, but we're going to do it again. And we genuinely enjoyed the music, and we were just intrigued. Yeah. And we just kept going. Yeah. And from there, it's just like, we have met so many interesting people around the world. Like, some of them are from Romania, some of them are from the Netherlands. And that's why we can't stop what we're doing. So we don't really necessarily look at the numbers and the success. We built a community of like-minded people who are just counting on us to, keep connecting them with genuine friendships and relationships. So it's a lot bigger than what people think. And it's been a great experience, man.
I love it. You guys hit on so many things just right there. Wow. And I'm hoping, if you're watching this, and you're, trying to be a creative or trying to get into anything, because really the biggest key is consistency. And I love how you guys, you said you started during a pandemic. Most people were letting just stuff, oh man, I can't do this during this pandemic, it's stressful. But no, you guys were like, nah, let's get it. Let's make it happen.
You got a lot of time on your hand. You might as well do something valuable. You might as well put it into something you care about rather than just wasting it watching Netflix.
Yes.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%.
And then on top of that, here's another thing. not everybody is going to be ready to go with you to the next level. You always start with a group of people and you're like, yes, these are the people I'm going to do this with. We're going to do it. And you said quickly you went from 4 to 2, which just shows it happened. That happens in anything. I can remember when I first started writing comics, I had a couple friends that were local that we were going to do it together. Quickly, you see who's serious and who's not serious and who really wants to do it and who really doesn't want to do it. And, life does happen with some people, and that's understandable. But it might not look, like you said, it might not look the way that you thought it would.
A lot of people want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to put the grind in day after day to do it. It's a big difference.
Absolutely, man. And honestly, your vibe attracts your tribe. Like you might have a vision for what you want to do, and you might project someone else into that vision, like, oh, such and such is going to handle this thing and they're going to be a part here. But honestly, you don't know until you put that energy out there in the universe, and the right people will naturally come to you. I just feel like me and LC got lucky because, we both have this strong desire to, ultimately be successful and do what we want to do as creators. Yeah. So having him and, vice versa kind of has been the main motivator for both of us.
Yeah, it's good to have that relationship with the person that you're going to be working with, obviously, and have somebody that and I've watched, your guys' videos. I haven't watched all of them because I'm going to hit on that in just a second, because y'all dropped a serious amount of content. Like you said a number when we first started, and I'm not sure what it was. What did you say? How many you wanted to do for the year? 50?
52. That's 52.
How many are you at?
We're well over like 350.
Yes. Okay. So that right there is like, okay, boom. You set out the goal, you crush that goal. Yeah. Consistency is key in everything you do. And I mean, when it comes, and like I said, I haven't watched all of them, but when I do watch it, the energy that you guys give off, and I've had conversations with Fredo about this before, the energy is unmatched. I mean, you guys, the energies is bouncing off of one another. You can tell that you're thoroughly enjoying. And a lot of people don't get that. You have to enjoy what you're going to do. Right.
Oh, got to. If you're going to put that kind of time in it, because even like doing videos and stuff, there's a lot of time involved in the editing. There's a whole lot more involved than just shooting it. I mean, there's a lot more time in that. And so, like, you got to care about what you're doing. You got to enjoy it. There's times I spend like 16 hours a day drawing comic books. If you don't love what you're doing, that work is not worth it. Right. Yeah. So you got to love what you're doing to put that grind in. You got to love it. One of the things I really liked about what you guys said earlier was, like, you had a plan. You knew what you wanted to do. You had the time with quarantine, so let's do that. And then that plan didn't work, but you got to be ready to pivot and change and move and see what the situation is, where the opportunities are, where the people are doing what I want to be doing. Get in there, take part in that, find the right people, like Tony was saying about. I mean, I feel that because, like, I had to come back from being disabled. I spent like 15 years in a wheelchair, couldn't hardly walk, talk, or see most days. I finally my Tourette's gets under control. I can start to do more stuff. I had to build a career from the ground up again. I start doing some artwork. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try publishing a comic, thinking I'm going to make a living someday drawing my own comic. I get my comic out there, get it into some hands. Next thing you know, I'm illustrating comics for people like Tony and Power Company and all this other stuff. And now I'm busy all day, every day drawing other people's comics. And it was absolutely not what I planned on doing. It wasn't my goal. It wasn't my means to an end. But I met people that I really liked. I found a tribe around me that was doing the same thing, that had the same feeling, the same hustle, the same energy. They'd give me a script, and I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. I can add to that. I can bring flavor and color and make this better. This will be a better project than either of us would have had on our own. Right. And I love that. And the books that I'm working on, like working on FiveStar and getting to work on Steel Wolf and Power Company and stuff like that, I enjoy these characters just as much as if I made them myself. And that's awesome. That's something I never expected. That's been a joy I've got out of this. I never expected to have. But if I hadn't been flexible, if I hadn't been willing to move and bend with the opportunities that came along, I would have missed out on that. And, that's great advice, guys. Absolute top-notch advice.
Yeah, what you said is profound. Like that's what business is. It's about pivoting
Mhm.
and finding systems. Look at Blockbuster and Hollywood Video in the 90s. They are no longer here because they didn't pivot.
Pivot.
They could
Yeah.
have easily been Netflix, but Netflix went from mailing people DVDs to creating an app, and now they're in every household in America.
Yeah.
But when it comes to us, I want to give I want to give you and your audience some of our secret sauce.
Ooh.
Oh,
Secret
absolutely.
sauce.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay.
like as you said, you have to be open. You never know what it looks like. You know, LC looked at me dead in the eyes when I said, let's do this K-pop reaction. And I could just tell with the look in his eyes, like he just wasn't that interested. But again, we both were open to do it. But ultimately, consistent quality content is what takes you leaps and bounds. So the fact that we could, and what made me think of this is you said editing takes time. Absolutely. Absolutely it does. And that was and that's something we still struggle with today is editing. But what allowed us to take off exponentially was we figured out a system to where we did not have to edit.
Nice.
I edited an intro. I figured out how to load it into OBS, play it, and then jump straight into our recording and play the outro I made. And I'm switching angles just like you're watching right now. So by the time we record, the video is done. All we have to do is upload it.
Nice.
So that allowed us to do 5 videos
right there.
a day. We started off releasing 5 reactions a night. And it was to the point where our viewers were like, this is a nightly routine for us. Yeah. I get my grandma and we watch Higher Faculty do 5 reactions every single night. And it got to the point where we were gaining 1,000 subscribers a day.
Yeah.
And we just didn't stop. It was.
I remember seeing the pictures on Facebook. It was like every other day every day you're holding up a sign. It's like we've reached this, we've reached this, we've reached this, and I'm just like a kid, like being giddy, like seeing 2 people that I know, like you know what I mean, like 2 people that I've worked with. I mean, you know, me and Fredo, we've done work together as far as like him doing stuff for me. We've worked at the community center together, and it was just like, man, it's just nice. And we've had conversations like of what he'd like to do and stuff he'd like to do and where he'd like to see himself. And it was like, just watching that, it was like, yes, like get it. Yeah. Like I was I don't know if I was the first one, but I was probably close to it.
Hey, you was up in the top 3.
I was like,
I love it, brother.
Give me a shirt. I need a shirt. Yeah. No, and then I'm like, you know, I was like, hey, Fredo, man, you know, this is just little ideas that I got. I don't know if you could use them, don't use them. But like, I pride myself in always trying to, like, in the back scenes, just trying to help anybody the way I can and see the people that like that have always showed love to me. I try to show love to them, and just to see you guys' growth, it just makes me happy, man. Like I'm like, I know I got to get them on here just because y'all's energy and stuff. So another thing that you go ahead.
There's one thing I do want to touch on too, about adding on to what Fredo said, is we figured out a way to eliminate the editing. He gave you a technical answer, but there was also something else that we committed to, is we eliminated the pride and ego from the editing. So when we mess up, we just like, there's been times where he's made up a word, or I've fumbled around and said something that, you know, just doesn't make sense, like I just did right now. And we just looked at each other like, bro, we don't have time to edit that out. Like, be real, be raw. You're not perfect. No one's perfect. So that saved a lot of time too. Because in the beginning, we would overthink everything. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know if what you said sounded right. Like I was kind of stuttering a little bit, and we were just like, bro,
you know what? Just upload it. Even if I cut to camera 2 and camera 2's dead for a second, we're just uploading it. And ultimately, YouTube is more forgiving than a live television broadcast. Like, you can make mistakes, but ultimately, if your content is enjoyable, just upload it, and you know people will come. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
My dog sent me the link to get in the screen.
Yeah, that's what's up. So I like that. I like that because even with our show, you know, it's straight live, bro. You know what I mean? We decided, and when I first started, I'm like, I don't have the equipment, and Fredo was one of the people I was in the inbox like, bro, how do I set up this? How do I do this? How do I do that? And my biggest thing was like, I'm about to just start it. I started with my phone. I started straight off of Facebook Live. It was raw. It was uncut. It was what it was. And then, boom, within weeks, I'm like, grab the StreamYard, grab the laptop, grab the mic, grab the cam, grab the this, set up the wall. You know what I mean? And out of all that, though, the key to it was being consistent. If I say I'm doing a show called FiveStar Fridays, that means Friday I better be on
there Friday
in front of these people.
Yeah.
And I love that once y'all knew that you had something, you didn't wait around and be like, well, maybe the next one, maybe we can do this. You just like, 5 videos a night. Like, and then since he just hopped on, you add another element to it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Our
So,
favorite
tell us-
idea.
Tell us how that
yeah.
started. Like, how did that come about? How, what was like, okay, let's add him in. Let's add what he can do in. What brought that about?
LC, you talk about that.
Honestly, hold on, Ted, you might have to.
How
Can
about
y'all
you
hear
just
me?
how about you just come over here with us?
Okay. All right.
We'll get you a mic.
Yeah, we'll get you a mic to set you up because it's echoing. Hang up on that.
I got you.
So let me just tell y'all a little bit about me and Tez's friendship and relationship. This guy has been burning me CDs since 6th grade, bro. Like, so when it comes to music, he's my guy. He's always been my DJ before he was a DJ. I'm like, bro, what? Like, get me some CDs, get me some music. So it only took maybe like a month into where we really started coming across some of these songs and some of these beats, whether it be in a different language or not, to the point to where I'm like, man, I just came up with the idea one day, like, I think that we should get a DJ in here to kind of like mix some of these songs together because they're the best instrumentals I've ever heard in my life. And me and Fredo just turned and looked at each other, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, Tez. And the day that we called him, he just happened to be off work. And I'm like, come to the studio right now, bring your DJ stuff. He was like, what? And when he got here, this is why I love Tez, man. He's always with it, always ready to go. He asked, the only question he asked was, because he had no idea, same thing as me, like, so you want me to do this DJ thing, but K-pop music? Like, I don't know this stuff. Like, he's like, can I do some other stuff too? And I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but like, our audience is K-pop, just throw that in there. And he fell in love with the music just like us. But I'm proud of him because what you said, Tony, was the consistency. It's not like he came in here one time, did it, and had a good time. He saw the opportunity and he seized it. You know what I'm saying? He got the response, and he's starting to slowly but surely really see the deeper vision of like a year from now, what is this going to look like? Like this is an opportunity that we can really take to the moon and back. So I'll let him speak on his journey so far, but the idea just came up one day and he responded immediately.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I was in the basement, and I had just, because I've been trying to get my little studio together at home, and I was getting all my DJ equipment set up in my basement, and Larry called me. He was like, man, what are you doing? I was like, hooking up my DJ equipment. Come bring everything to the studio right now. and I was sitting there like, dang, man, I just hooked all this stuff up. And I was like, you know what? I'm on my way. I'm coming right now. Because before that,
That's a good friend right there.
Yeah, he had been on me before that though. Like, look, me and Fredo want to film you, whether we meet up at, at the Crown Royal, or you come to the studio, or I come to your house. We just want to film you to, show the world what you got. And I was just kind of like nervous. Like I don't know how to really be on camera. You know what I mean? I wasn't used to it. So coming up here and just getting comfortable with these guys, man, they made me feel so much comfortable just playing music in general. You know what I mean? Like, and that first day I was nervous. I was like, they gonna think I'm trash, like, cause I don't know none of these songs. Like, I'm about to get ripped right here, right now, and they loved it. You know, all the K-pop fans, they loved it. You know, it might be some people out there that don't like it, which is fine, but man, the love and support that I got off of that first day just basically got me hooked. And I'm K-pop won't stop. Like, it ain't.
You can't deny.
stopping.
You can't deny the energy.
Yeah,
Three of you.
That's another thing. The energy when I'm with these guys, man, it's just incredible. It's on a whole nother level. Like, it brings the joy to my day. Like, if I've had a long day working or just doing something that I really didn't want to do that day, when I get here, I'm in heaven. So yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah. That's big. You're starting to assemble. This is a comic book show usually, so you're starting to assemble your Avengers. You're bringing in,
yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You had your Iron Man, Fredo.
Yeah.
You want to bring in your Captain America with LC, and then you got the Hulk coming in, and I dig it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love what you guys are doing. I love that you guys all grew up together. You have that relationship, and to be able, because it rarely happens. True. People that you grow up with most of the time do not see the same vision as you do, and you kind of got to step out and away from them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you speaking truth there, man. You've got to be willing to let go of some of those bonds, usually
best friends,
and step into what God's got for you. You know, and like I love a lot of those guys, but I can't be with those guys every day, or they're gonna drag me down. You know, like I've got to be able to step up and do what I need to do, and love them, but I can't just sit around and hang around with them all day.
Exactly.
You
got to learn.
I got work to do. Got things to accomplish.
Not on that same mission, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
That's all right. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it won't come back around at one point. No. And it doesn't mean, like you guys said, you got something started, and what was he eventually in the picture at the beginning? No. But then boom, you've seen an opportunity to bring him in. You know what I mean? He will fit this piece. Let me reach out. And then the ball's in his court. If he picks it up, he picks it up. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Mm-hmm. He just happened to, and boom, you got magic on your hands right now. And we love it. We love it.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And just
go ahead.
Just to put it into context, man, it was an idea that we didn't even know if it was going to work or not. Like, it's just all about, I'm going to keep saying it, like being open and being able to pivot, because when we called Tezzy to come in and DJ, we were like, we don't know if it's going to work or not, but we know we're going to have fun. We're going to love it. We didn't know if the people would respond to it well.
If you're having a good time, the viewers are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And it took us like maybe 10 hours to figure out how to connect his DJ mixer to our mixer into OBS. And I just remember that first day setting up, like Tezzy probably think he don't know what he's doing.
That first day was like literally no sleep day. Like I was here, we was all here till almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
We forgot to eat food.
Yeah,
like we just kept going.
I have been there, man.
Figuring it out. Like, can you hear me, bro? No, I can't.
We hit 25,000 subscribers that day and didn't even know. And my mom is booming on the door, and they come in with a cake and 2 balloons. Like, y'all hit 25K, and we all looking at each other like, all right, but we got to set these cords up.
But I got stuff to do.
Yeah, take the picture.
Yeah.
And Ted stayed with us, bro. And on top of that, I don't know too many other DJs, so I don't know what it's like to literally get thrown into a mix with a genre you're not familiar with. Like, the songs weren't even in English. And like, he was bold enough and brave enough to just on the spot get out of his comfort zone. And I think that he needs more credit than what people think just for doing that.
Man.
Oh, for sure.
And last night, the energy was ridiculous. We were streaming live on Twitch for 2 hours. He was mixing and people were going nuts.
Crazy.
He was mixing 90s R&B with Korean music. And, people have never heard that.
Flawlessly blending it.
Yeah, and
last night was epic for real. And these guys, man, I don't mean to cut you off. They feed me so much music, like they have it ready to go when I get here, and I'm like, I'll take a little snippet of it and listen to it in one headphone. I'm like, bro, what did you just send me? Like, he sent me this song last night, and I probably mixed it with every song that I play, and it's just like a sound effect. Like, it ain't even the full song. It's just, you know what I mean? Just something to just get creative with, you know, and they love it. And we love it. I love it. We all love it.
That's big. It's big, like you said, you're growing that community of people that love the stuff that you guys are doing. So it just makes it natural. You know, if you're putting out something that you know that you like, it's almost a guarantee that majority of them are going to like it too. I know you guys go live tonight at 7. So we don't want to keep you guys for too long. Fish, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask them? Anything that was on your mind?
Man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the hustle. I'm impressed with the hard work. I'm impressed with the way y'all do. One of the things I really liked you talking about was just the consistency and the getting it out there every day and the doing, that's one of the things that I try and tell to everybody I talk to is always do your best work, always put out the best work you can. Cause like you said, like we're in the comics world and I see a lot of times from a lot of guys, a lot of artists on the lower rungs of the indie ladder, like you can see real inconsistent work come out from them. And I know some of those pages, they might be getting $100 an hour, $100 a page. Some of those, they might be getting $25 a page. And you can really tell the difference. But the problem is the fans don't know the difference. The fans see that work with your name on it. They see your YouTube video and like what they see is the kind of work you do. And so it's important to me that I always put out my best, even if, I'm not getting the pay on this one that I wish I was, or it's been tougher, or the client's difficult, or whatever the problem is. It's not something I'm as excited about. I'm always going to put my best work out there. And that has paid off so much. And I've seen so many dividends from that. Doing an 8-page story for one of my buddies got me the job doing FiveStar, got me the job doing this book and that book. And, doing your best work, being consistent, putting that grind in, that pays off down the road. I'm seeing it, I'm working full time in comic books, which is crazy to me after like 2 years.
Hard to do.
This is my full time job for 2 years straight because I stepped out and was like, okay, I'm going to focus on this, trying to build a new career. And that's awesome. I wish I could have done that when I was 16. If I would have the internet and all that stuff, to connect us this way back then, man, I'd be living the lifestyle right now. But hey, it's never too late, man. I'm impressed by y'all's work. Your grind, man.
It's all about seasons. It's all about timing. Everything's always about timing. Everything's always about season, being in the right season, being in the right place at the right time, being ready to accept the things that are coming your way. Like Ted said, he could have easily been like, man, I just set this up, bro. Catch me another time, and missed opportunity. But anytime you're doing things in a creative way, you have to be open, like you guys were saying. One question that I like,
hard work that comes in beforehand, like all that hard work that comes in before the season, getting that soil ready, all that hard work we all put in learning our crafts and honing that craft. So when the opportunity comes, you knew how to cut those corners and make this as easy to edit as possible and as quick a thing to put out. Right. Those are skills that I don't have. I can edit some videos, but I don't have those skills. I couldn't have done that quick.
Right.
Having it, putting it all together, that comes in.
I definitely don't got that ear for the music to be mixing things I can't even understand into other things. So, we all got to play our role. One of the questions I like to ask people who are not in the comic book world, and anybody can start off with the answer. If you had one superpower that would help you with what you're doing, LC, what would it be?
My superpower would be teleportation. Yes. I don't know if it will help me with what I'm doing.
It make a lot of things easier.
But yeah, maybe from a film perspective, I can be like, yo, we're shooting this video in Aruba today where this song was actually filmed. Like, and just teleport there. Like, let me see what Tezzy doing. I know he out
the yard. Use it grocery shopping, all kinds of stuff.
Bro. Teleportation, I always tell people that would be my one. That would be my one. Like, okay, take the kids. Boom, we're in Florida tonight. Boom, okay, we're in London tomorrow. Boom, we're here right now. That to me, that's on the top of my list. So I can see where you would come with that. Tez, what about you, man?
for me, man, I've always wanted to be invisible, man. Like if I could sit, if I could sit in front of the turntables and just let it rock and just sit there, can't nobody see me, and they like, who is playing this fire? You know, I would do that. I've wanted to walk through walls my whole life. Like my imagination was crazy when I was a kid, but being invisible is one of my top.
If you could read people's
Superpowers.
minds too, that would be dope as a DJ.
Yeah.
Think of the
Like,
next
oh, I
song.
know what he want to hear right now.
Yeah.
What you thinking about?
Point at him.
I know what he wants to hear, but let me throw this on there. That's gonna blow his mind.
That'd be
Your
like,
favorite
what?
song.
Yeah.
Super psyched.
Fredo.
I'll probably be flying, man. I'll meet LC wherever he's at, you know, but I'm going to enjoy the view on the clouds, you know, on my way to Aruba. I'll meet you there in about 3-4 hours. I'm going to go ahead and fly over there. That's dope. I need that.
I
want to know y'all's.
I'm surprised that I didn't get super speed out of anybody just because of how much like the editing would go quicker if you're just like you know, DJing. I mean, just imagine if Flash was DJing like,
oh my god,
man.
You know what
we
I'm
already
saying?
shorted the mixer last night.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be crazy to see. Fish, he asked us, man, what superpower would you have, man?
Man, I gotta say, always I pretty much will go with teleportation just because it would make many things easier. But honestly, there is not a day go by that I don't instinctively try and use my web shooters to grab something across the room. And 46 years old, and it still doesn't work. I'm starting to think they're never going to come in. I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
but
that's
you know,
yeah.
But yeah, probably teleportation because all over that would be more handy. Man, I straight up, I would go to the grocery store. One at a time. I would bring things back, stick them in the cabinet, go back, grab the milk, come back, stick it in the fridge. Forget all this lugging stuff in and out of the car. No, that's done.
What car? You wouldn't even need one.
Wouldn't even need one.
Right.
Forget about it.
Need a car.
Right.
Teleportation's at the top of my list too. Just because I think of it like I said with my family, like where y'all want to go right now. Boom, we're there. Second to that would be moving things with my mind, bro. Like just how much easier would that be? Like, and then you got to want
across the room.
You know what I mean? Like, boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope. That's a dope one too.
I like that one. I like
kids
that one.
calling for toilet paper from the other room. Just fling it with your mind. Don't have to get up.
As a tech guy, I know it can be frustrating that when you finally sit down, you're like, oh, I forgot to grab that. I need that too. And you got to get back up and grab it. You would just be like, oh, all right, I got that. Plug that into there. Oh, yeah, that's not plugged in there. Bloop, let me plug that in.
That'll probably be my second, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm charging batteries constantly.
I think that would be for Captain because he always like, oh,
battery
every time.
Camera dead.
I mean, he be on it though. You know what I mean? Whether he forget it or not, he be on it. Like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, let me get that. Oh, let me do this before we do that.
Yep.
So yeah.
I've seen him once before in his zone where like he was trying to shoot a video for me and he's like, oh, let me grab, where that at? Boom, boom. And I'm like, you're just sitting there kind of waiting, like, all right, cool. And he was just like doing his thing. I'm like, I'm not even gonna talk to him right now. He's in his little element, finding his stuff. So
Yep. Partly because I
powers,
forget a lot of things.
I think we all do, man.
Any of the powers would be dope. And I would say a lot of people who are creative, a lot of people who are in a business field would probably just like to have any of those. Like, that would help tremendously.
Yeah.
That's why they can't give us all powers because we'd all just be.
Well, you know how many comics I'll be knocking out with super speed, man. It might all be a little rough, but I'd be knocking out dozens a week, man.
Oh yeah, dude! As an artist, boom, it's done. Boom, it's done. Boom, it's done.
You know how expensive that computer would have to be to keep up with that? Just be able to run that fast.
So, real quick, guys, tell them what you got going on for this week, or where they can find all of your guys' content. I can share the screen here and pull up the YouTube channel.
Yeah. You can find us on YouTube at Higher Faculty, and we have a Discord server, which is a community where you can chat up
all this content,
K-pop and music in general. We have a website that kind of links everything all together, to where you can check out our merch, our YouTube channel, our YouTube playlists, stuff like that. So you can always go to higherfaculty.com. But yeah, we're Higher Faculty everywhere on all platforms.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I did a little product placement
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
man. I appreciate
Okay.
the swag right now,
Oh,
brother.
oh.
And as
Yeah.
far as projects, man, we're just going to create content daily.
Mhm.
We're going to start branching off from reactions to do, more cinematic content and more
Mhm.
music-based content. Because at
Nice.
the end of the day, I am a filmmaker. He is an artist. He
Mhm.
is a
Mhm.
DJ. So, everything on our channel will not continually to be focused on K-pop, but at our core, we love the music, so we'll always continue to do that. But we are kind of branching off and doing some other creative stuff as well too.
Right.
Nice.
And he's mixing on Twitch live right after this. So if y'all want
Yes,
to tune
sir.
in, go ahead and
Yeah.
jump in.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Okay. We want to thank everybody who tuned in. We want to thank y'all for coming on here. I think everybody who's watched or who will watch it will get a lot out of this. We dropped a little bit of knowledge on people. Write it
Oh
down.
yeah.
The
Great
biggest
advice.
thing
Great
is,
advice.
start. If you have something, don't say, "Oh, I'll start in 2 days," or "Oh, I'll start when I got this," or "Oh, I'll start when I got that."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Get it into action,
Get
action
started
Fredo
on
style.
it. Be ready for
Right.
change. Change is going to happen. You got to be ready for it and go
Gotta
with it.
pivot.
Not be afraid of it.
That's the best advice I can get all day right there. Change.
So,
Yeah.
love it. Fredo, at one point you had worked on something where you had an artist draw you some action Fredo stuff. Since that time, I
Yeah.
linked up with this good artist that I know named
Mhm.
Fish Lee, who would knock it out of the park. So anytime that you guys are like, yo, we would look dope as comic book characters,
Oh yeah.
this is the guy
Yeah.
you need to hit up right here because he
Say-
can make it happen. And I'm liking that you're down here, Fish, because usually I'm trying to point to you and I point the wrong way. So
Yeah.
I like that. Side note.
No.
So
Say less,
everybody was
man.
rocking with us.
We've got I got an idea already for Fish.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
We'll be
he
in
is the
touch.
All right.
guy
We'll be in touch, man.
to
All
hit up.
right.
He's the
I'm
guy to hit
always
up.
here, man. Always here.
Gotcha.
So you guys, like he said, hop on and watch them go live tonight. Check out the YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, you're going to spend some time looking at all this content.
Oh
There's
yeah.
so much content. I was just scrolling through before we got on. I was like, oh, it just keeps going and it's still going and it's still going.
Yeah, it
And
does.
you're going to get your fix. Stay consistent. Continue to be the best you. Keep grinding. Don't stop. You've heard it here today. We love you guys. Peace out.
Until next time, brother.
Until next time.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
sir.
Thank you.